What is up, NCL Nation, and welcome back. Holy shit, it has been a fat fucking minute since I've done a YouTube video. I've been on that stream grind, been playing some Marvel Rivals, not a whole lot of Pokemon. You know, I took a little break from Draft League. It's been a little bit, finished up NCL, did some stuff, and just in general took a break from this. But apparently, people want the NCL Go back. So, your boy Windrazers is back, and we are reigning champions of PBL Season 1, first ever season of PBL rebrand of FDN, and we were champions, our first ever ring last season, and we're looking to do the back-to-back, and we have quite the team to show you guys today. To be helping me with this beautiful draft breakdown, I have my my beautiful one of my best friends. Love him very dearly. He's going to be helping with a lot of the thumbnails and behind the scenes work. Let me turn up my gain a little bit. Let's pick up my mic a little bit better, you know, that type shit. But I'm going to have this beautiful man be helping us, and he'll probably be a part of some team builders, but I want to give a big shout out. We have Koinu joining us for the draft breakdown.
What is up? Goat.
Anyways, so me and Koinu just going to kind of be talking about it. Nothing crazy. Just a draft breakdown of my team. I was thinking about making a bunch of graphics and stuff like that, but I'm also lazy, and I have some pre-made graphics called the fucking doc and showdown to use for you guys. Maybe I'll have, maybe our Go Koinu will make like an end graphic for you guys so we could leave it on the screen or something. But let me just go over here, and this is our... Dude, why doesn't it do what I want it to do? Yo! Okay, there we go. This is our team. What we're looking at. We're going to kind of go over. But first things first, our first round draft pick was a Pokemon. We actually made a trade. We actually drafted Dialga Origin, which was a new Pokemon that PBL is allowing. PBL is like a creative league that allows like some Ubers and stuff like that in their league to just try stuff out. So they're trying Dialga Origin. They tried Genesect last season.
And then also Zamahiro.
Yep, and Zamahiro last season. Both of them are still saying, and the results were pretty interesting. But ever since Genesect was allowed, I was a huge hater of Genesect in draft. Not that I thought it was bad, actually the opposite. I thought it was too broken for the draft meta. But honestly, the results have been kind of mixed. I've only really seen one person do okay with it. So definitely interesting and something that I've always wanted to give a try because I absolutely fucking love this Pokemon. So our first Pokemon that we are drafting is in fact Genesect. It was my round one. I actually did select Dialga Origin. I got the 4th pick, crazy enough. And I actually traded somebody Dialga for Genesect just straight up. Because it fit more of the team plan that I wanted to go with as I kind of started team planning a little bit. Because I didn't really have a plan when I first started, which I usually don't. Usually the way I draft is I don't have a plan straight up. I'll draft whatever the best thing is on the board or something that I want to use in the high tiers and then kind of just build around that later on. I kind of just took Dialga Origin because it was there, and I was like, holy shit, this is really cool, brand new Pokemon. But then I was like, you know what, I really want to try Genesect, and the more I'm building with, the more I like building with Genesect rather than Dialga. Maybe we do grab Dialga another time. Broken as fuck mon, if it's still around. But yeah, anyways, yeah, we have Genesect here. It was absolutely amazing. It is complex banned, so the only thing with Genesect is it can only hold drives. Oh, I didn't even mention. This video is going to be super informal. I'm sorry, everybody. It just is. But Koinu is a mod of PBL, so big shout out to Koinu being a goat here, so he can answer any questions that we might have in terms of rules, because Windrazers, we don't listen to rules around here, mostly because we're stupid, but yeah. Anyways, amazing stat spread on Genesect, right? 120 attack and special attack. Which doesn't sound like crazy right away, right? But then you have to realize that we can instant +1 in either stat whenever we come up. So obviously the ability's fucking broken. and it's really, really good. So we are complex banned, like I said earlier, to Douse drives, so we can't run stuff like EV or Bandit or Choice Scarf because the league is scared. You know, they don't want us to have fun kind of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
But the coolest thing with Genesect,
when he
the
gets
reason
just one banded U-turns.
my Bandit +1 U-turns. What do you mean? The biggest thing with Genesect too is even though we are item locked, we have a ton of setup opportunities. Being shift gear, hone claws, stuff like that with download. And then our fucking coverage is insane, which is one of the biggest reasons why I really wanted to draft this. Obviously, stab U-turn is fucking crazy. We're doing a lot of damage to shit like that, but we get like, especially on the special side. I mean, we're a bug steel type that gets fire coverage with blaze kick and flamethrower. So on both sides of the ball there.
And
Blaze, go ahead.
Well, yeah, I was saying also like you also get like Technoblast too, like depending on the drive too.
Yep. So we get Technoblast, which is like, just better flamethrower. So we have Technoblast, which if you guys don't know, is 120 base power, 100 accurate move, which can be electric, water, or fire, or just normal, I guess, if I want normal coverage for whatever reason.
And also ice.
Oh,
there's also ice.
Ice? Yeah. Is there 4? Damn.
Yeah, Chode.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, so that's insane coverage. So basically, we get a powered up T-Bolt flamethrower or ice beam, and then also 120 power. Basically, a better hydro pump, right? Because pump is yeah. So basically, a just accurate hydro pump, which is insane. We get stab bug buzz as well. On the special side, Genesect is a fucking beast. But the crazy thing too is we're at 99 speed, which is a decent speed tier. A little bit underrated now, just because not underrated, but a little bit underwhelming, I guess was the word I was looking for there now, with so many things being so fast in this meta. But to make up for that, Genesect also gets E-speed. So that's absolutely amazing. Ironhead, like the physical side is a little less, but you still get like good stab options like Leech Life for longevity. We do get IDEF, you get Ironhead, stuff like that. E-speed, like I said, shift gear makes us super fast and hit super hard. And then another funny thing that I think will be a theme of this team, I also get Thunder Wave, which I think is actually really an underrated move for Genesect, because a lot of the things that'll come in, we're going to talk about the next Pokemon, but I think like Pokemon that are faster that want to come in to pressure Genesect out, this can help a lot with that, where it's like, let's say I don't really want to press a button into a Mon that might be Rocky Helmet, or like I'm not exactly sure, something like that, right? I can press Thunder Wave pretty much for free, especially on this Mon, and either get a really strong hit off or swap out, and the next time I come in I can pretty much press any move I want really freely. So yeah, so that's really good in my head, and I think that this Mon is gonna go absolutely crazy this season. I have a lot of really good matchups. I also get like cool moves like Aerial Ace and shit like that. Fell Stinger. I'll have to run a Fell Stinger one week. But
that's actually so weird.
Yeah, great coverage. Amazing Mon. Jack of all trades. It almost feels like a Mew Mon, you know, where it's like this thing can have like 6 different sets every week. And your opponent doesn't like really know. So alright. Moving on to pair with Genesect, my second round pick. I can't believe that it fell all the way back around to me. We were able to pick Tornadus T. I've used this Pokemon quite a lot, and it's draft staple. I would say it's probably a top 3 draft Pokemon of all time. This thing is fucking insane. Regenerator, as you guys all know, with great offensive stats, with 100 attack and 110 special attack. Access to Nasty Plot now, from last generation, Gen 8. And just one of the best speed spreads in the game. And while the defenses might look a little middling, I mean, 79, 80, 90 is pretty good in its own right, with access to boots, AV, stuff like that, Rocky Helmet, and Regenerator is probably the best ability in Draft League. But, I mean, not much to talk about. The biggest thing that we're going to have a really big thing. We did draft a Pokemon that is a classic Windrazers special. That we did end up not fully building around, but building around, for lack of better words. And the biggest thing that I drafted was knockoff. That was my thing. I want to get rid of items at all time because not only does it help Genesect, who also struggles from being item locked, like our Pokemon that will be coming up. I just really wanted to have a chip you down, wear you down team for Genesect, and then my other Pokemon to come in and start cleaning, breaking, stuff like that, without any repercussions of items. So a big thing with that is my Torrentee. It's one of the best knockoffers in the game. One of the easiest sets everybody runs. You get that Bleak Wind in here, Bleak Wind or Hurricane, get that little knockoff, get that Defog, and get that U-turn, right? One of the easiest sets of the game. Defog can be replaced for Toxic, just stuff like that, right? So,
a really good utility mon.
Yeah, super, probably amazing. Just utility mon helps out,
like,
but
offensively too, you can also be used. Like,
so offensively, like I just told you guys, you get access to Nasty Plot. So things like Nasty Plot, Bleak Wind, Heat Wave. That's really, really, really good. And you can even still keep U-turn, which I know sounds funny, but like that's still a really good move. You have stuff like Grass Knot and Dark Pulse as coverage, which is really good. Sludge Bomb, shit like that is really, really cool. So yeah.
Like other cool moves for Torn too is like, depending on the matchups too, you can even run like Taunt, Power Play, like there's just like so many cool moves that this Pokemon just gets. But yeah, like you said,
sorry, I had to let Bonnie out.
Oh
no, I completely agree.
Well, I mean, yeah.
That's like the biggest thing, right?
Yeah,
so like on those moves, Taunt is so good. It's also really good on the Nasty Plot set. If you do want to run that. But just an amazing Pokemon overall. So much coverage. Focus Blast. I didn't even mention that.
Yeah. Grass Knot. Yeah.
Yep. Amazing coverage. All right. Moving on, keeping on that knockoff train, we have probably one of the best knockers also in the game in Meowscarada. So this is my fastest Pokemon at 123 speed. A couple speed points faster than Torn.
This also gets power play. Oh, I actually didn't know that.
This gets what?
This also gets power play. Huh.
Yeah, so that's actually one of the cool moves. Yep.
So
the biggest thing with Meowscarada is that it gives me a really fast Mon who's also a great Scarfer. So you don't get that a whole lot, where like a lot of your fast Mons technically want to run Scarf, but this thing is really, really, really good at running Scarf. It's good at running Scarf, good at running Boots, stuff like that. I really, really like this Mon, and it's probably one of the best knockoffers in the game, right? So like Torrentee is probably up there, and then Meow gets that stab, even Protean knockoff, which is really, really, really good. So I think that's really, really cool. Meow also gets, which I am really excited about, is Toxic Spikes and Spikes. I think that's really, really cool for this team and can be a really fast spiker, which was something that I was looking for. So having a offensive hazard setter was really, really nice for this team, especially when it's my knockoff user, because I can usually knock off an item of a bulky Pokemon that comes in, whether or not it's pressuring me out or it's trying to set its own hazards, do whatever, right? I can get a spike off or a toxic spike and really start to pressure a lot of things. So that was something that I really, really liked. This Pokemon's not like crazy in uniqueness. A lot of the times you're going to be running your Flower Trick, which is non-contact stab move that always crits. It's like Wicked Blow. It's 70 power and it's grass typing, so it's not like the craziest strong thing, but throw a band on this. It's got 110 attack.
Yeah.
It can start to rack up some good damage, especially the fact that it always crits.
You can even run like kind of like funny sets of like just like Sash Overgrow as well, and then just like if you like you get like low health with Overgrow too, then it's like
exactly. Start doing
even more damage,
crazy damage to shit. So a big thing too, it gets funny moves, but like I gotta run that Nasty Plot set. True. But I mean, knockoff. A big thing that Koinu just said, Foul Play, is a really crazy good move that this thing gets. The stab dark type move that hits really hard. Another one is Sucker Punch. So even if things are faster, Sucker Punch is a really, really great move. Gets that priority, which is really, really good for a mon like this. Gets a little bit of coverage. The biggest coverage being Play Rough, Low Kick, and Triple Axle, which are all very, very good. It also gets funny coverage like Thunder Punch and Shadow Claw, which is interesting. Not that you would ever really run Shadow Claw, but I mean, hey, who knows if they have like a Psychic Ghost type or something, or you still run Knock, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, so they have a lot of stuff to use. Power Gem's funny, but the biggest thing I want to talk about was Knock and Spikes, and then another thing. If you guys haven't noticed, I have 2 super fast taunters, which was super important for me also to get. So just throw this on here real quick. I think taunt is so important, especially in this metagame with so many really, really powerful threats, especially with setting up. And my team does a really, really good job of preventing setup, which is really, really what I like about this team in specific, because I have a lot of strong hitters, and I don't necessarily have like a ton of setup options myself on this team, as you'll come to see. But in terms of that, I have a lot of ways of preventing setup on my own and really causing my opponent to play kind of into my hands, which I really like. So yeah, and Meow can really, really do that. Torin can aid with it, and it's just a really good combo. Knock off twins, and have a lot of good stuff. And then finally, last but not least, I think one of the coolest things about this, let's say I want to run that Choice Band or Choice Scarf set, right? Flower Trick knockoff, let's say I run that Sucker Punch. The last move that I really think is important for this mon is Trick. It's one of the few very offensive fast mons that's not a Psychic type and stuff like that do get Trick. People think about like Rotoms and Goldango and stuff, but this thing does get Trick. It's a really, really, really good Trick user in my opinion, especially on like the Scarf sets, things to shut down. Another way to shut down offensive sweepers, which I think is really, really, really good. And also another way of also breaking down a lot of Meowscarada's, what's it called? Checks, right? So like things that swap in that that necessarily want to take a knock or a flower trick and kind of force it out. This thing can trick into them and be really, 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 really annoying for that, because now the mon is really hindered for the rest of the game. And while I do have a lot of knock offers, being able to get rid of their item or at least trade them, like take their leftovers, even if I knock off the item later on, that's another boosted knockoff that I can have, and it can also make a defensive Pokemon not as useful going on, right? And I can now press U-turn more effectively. So, yeah. Anyways, moving on, right? This is a really cool mon I'm super excited for. We have Mr. Hydrapple. Never got to use him before, brand new in Gen 8. And he is our first Terra Captain. I'll let you guys see real quick. He's our first Terra Captain. This thing is fucking awesome. Biggest thing is it gives me a Regenerator Core, right? So a little bit of a weird Regenerator Core here with Torn and Hydrapple. That defensive core looking really, really, really strong now. And then Terra to fucking flip matchups. This thing's stat spread is insane, and I don't think people talk about it enough, right? Off of 106 HP, you have 110 defense and 80 spit F, right? This thing doesn't fucking die. With Regenerator, you have these just astounding stats, one of the best AV users in the game, to cover up for a little bit of a weaker spit F stat, which honestly isn't even that bad. 80 is pretty average. And then 106 HP is where it all starts, right? That shit's so strong. And then on top of that, we have a defensive mon that has 120 special attack. Now you might say, hey James, the big reason why this thing probably isn't good is Grass Dragon, right? Which I don't think is that bad of a typing in its own, but it's quad weak to ice. You have a lot of things you're weak to, right? So you're quad weak to ice, you're weak to dragon, fairy, bug, flying, poison. Like that's a lot of weaknesses, right? You're like, you don't want that a defensive mon. Well, that is why we drafted it with Terra, right? So with Terra, we get to completely flip matchups. Terra Fairy, Terra Water, Terra Steel, right? We just get to basically take away all of the things that make Hydrapple a little underwhelming and kind of flip that matchup for me. It's just going to be an amazing defensive mon. Not only does it get Regenerator, but it does have access to Recover if I ever do want to use that. So it's not like we need Regenerator to get HP back, but we can recover with stuff, and we don't ever get in battles with things because we do have Recover. So there's that. We did talk a lot about phasing and things like that, right? So we talked about Taunt. I have 2 Taunters. I have a Trickmon. And then finally, last but not least, I have another way to stop setup because I have this awesome move called Dragon Tail, which is really, really good on this Pokemon. Basically, I don't have to ever be passive into anything. Let's say Draco, my special attack's pretty low. Something comes in to try and set up. I have that Dragon Tail option, so now I don't have to waste a turn swapping, and I really don't have that much fear of pressing Draco, which is what I'm going to get into. So this thing's Dragon Stab is absolutely amazing. Like I said, 120 base special attack is really, really great for bulky Pokemon. I have access to Nasty Plot, which is really, really awesome. And then my Dragon moves, right? So I have Draco Meteor, which is amazing. Obviously, press 130 base power, even if I'm not Nasty Plotted up. Pretty much nukes everything in front of it. And then on top of that, too, if I don't want to press Draco, I have a super consistent Fickle Beam. It is 80 power, so it's not the strongest thing, but I do have a 30% chance every turn for it to be 160 base power. So,
roll the dice.
Yep. Basically, you get to... I can't wait to go gambling, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of move of, like, it has no drawback, right? It is a little weaker, but on Nasty Plot sets, I'm still hitting really hard. I do have 120 base special attack, like I've mentioned multiple times now. It's not like this is just bouncing off of stuff. And they always have to fear. I can't really get in setup wars either. If something comes in on Fickle Beam, they always have to risk the chance of that, me pulling that 160 base power move, which,
yeah,
needless to say, will kill a lot of things. I have passive recovery too with Stab Giga Drain, which is super, super cool. Let's say just put the Fickle Beam on here. And then the final but not least, you might say, oh, James, this mana has like no coverage. Earth Power is the best thing, right? Earth Power is amazing. Obviously, I get to hit Steel types, which my 2 stabs can't do, so amazing coverage in that. Really not else. And you might be like, James, you don't really have a lot to hit Fairy types. Like, it's really just Giga Drain. Or Leaf Storm, which is the other move I was going to mention. If I don't really care about hitting things with Giga Drain, like I don't need that recovery. Let's say I'm running Recover, or I'm just like AV, and I just want the damage. Leaf Storm will nuke fucking whatever is in front of it. Also, I get Hydro Pump, which I think is really funny because it's actually like really cool for like fire types just in general. So like, because like if they, do we have any fire steel types? Yeah, Heatran. Obviously I have Earth Power, but like Hydro, if it's like stuff like that, Hydro Pump is just like a cool move. I don't think it's that useful, but I think that it's pretty cool. I also get Earthquake and Sucker Punch, which I think's funny. Maybe not moves I'll bring all the time, but pretty cool. What'd you say?
I didn't even know that he got Sucker Punch. That's really funny.
So I also get Reflect.
Funny,
I think I get Light Screen. Do I get both screens? I don't. I only get Reflect. But I mean, hey, I do get a screen, and decent stuff. But the biggest thing
you also do get Body Press too.
Like Body Press is interesting for sure. I do have 110 defense, so it's not like it's weak. So yeah.
And then, like, another cool part too is you also get Yawn too, for at least like if you don't run like Nasty Plots. Like,
yeah, I have so much phasing. I have so much phasing on this team. But yeah, I have Dragon Tail. I have Yawn to pressure stuff out, which can give me free Nasty Plots that for things that want to come in, and I can Yawn them. So that's really, really cool. And then on top of everything, the missing piece on my offensive sets, or let's just say Hydrapple is kind of walled by something, and I can't run, like let's say it's a Fairy type, I can't run Dragon Tail, getting a little scared with it, right? The final last piece is Terra Blast, right? So it is Gen 8 Pokemon. I am Terra, and I am allowed to use Terra Blast, so pretty much any coverage that I could possibly ever want or need.
You said Gen 8 Pokemon, it's a Gen 9 Pokemon.
Oh, my bad, Gen 9. Holy shit, I'm stupid. I mean, that's why we have Koinu on here, folks, because he's basically my lawyer. I cannot leave home without him. But, alright guys, funny thing right now, I'm actually going to pause the recording really quick because I have to go do something real quick. Alright, 2 seconds. And we're back. Sorry, small cut, tiny ender. I had stuff I had to do. Anyways, yeah, so we were just finishing up Hydrapple. Amazing defensive mon. Pretty much can flip any matchup for me. And wall quite a lot of things. So absolutely love Hydrapple. I think it's gonna be a low-key defensive mon of the year kind of candidate if I play it right. So absolutely fucking amazing mon.
Very good. very
To
good.
continue, we have one of my goats, one of my favorite mons. We have Keldeo. So I really needed a speed tier and another special attacker. Genesect can obviously do it, and we do have Hydrapple and Torn. Meows are only physical, but as you can see, we have some more physical attackers coming up. But I really wanted the speed tier and a good setup option. So this is my first, or I guess my second, truly like really versatile offensive mon that's like dedicated to being offensive. It is my water type as well. And this thing is just really strong. Obviously with 129 special attack, 108 speed was the speed tier I keep saying that I really wanted to hit, and things like that. So we're able to hit on both sides of the field because of Keldeo's signature move, which is Secret Sword, which damages targets based on defense, not SPDF. 85 power, so we can hit things really, really hard. And then we also have Aura Sphere to hit from the other side, right? So fighting coverage is really good. And then the main thing too is we have our first Scald user. Scald is really, really great on Keldeo. Getting that burn, using stuff. We always used to talk about Scald being broken back in Gen 6. Keldeo could technically beat Mega Venusaur if you got the burn with Scald. Still a great mon. Obviously a little bit less in this generation, but we have really strong stuff for that. But if I wanted a little bit more power, I have Surf. That is pretty spammable. And then last but not least, if I want to just nuke shit, I have Hydro Pump. One of the better Scarfers. In this generation, actually, he did get buffed, and a big part of that is Vacuum Wave. So now I have priority, which is very, very huge for Keldeo, and its setup sets, which we're going to be using with Calm Mind, which is a pretty big deal for Keldeo. So we get Vacuum Wave. And then in last generation, Gen 8, it got Flip Turn, which makes it even more versatile in the fact that I can now pivot.
Maybe cool scarf sets, yeah.
Yep, really, really great for scarf sets, good for spec sets as well, just stuff like that. So now we have Flip Turn. We get some decent coverage. I mean, he gets funny, like, physical coverage, but, like, Icy Wind, and then another fast Taunter. I drafted a lot of Taunters. And stuff like that, Toxic, shit like that. So not a whole lot of stuff. Air Slash. Keldeo does what Keldeo does. I mean, if you've ever seen Keldeo since he come out, he's done a lot of similar stuff. He's very, very good at it. But yeah, I think Keldeo just in general is a really great special attacker. It helps me kill those fire types that we talked about. It is an offensive water, and the reason why I decided to go with offensive water because the team up of Hydrapple plus Torn, with Hydrapple being able to change his typing and still liking the water typing a lot as a Terra, since specifically it only has 2 weaknesses and Hydrapple can really take advantage of that. I didn't really feel the need to have to cover the fire type weakness too much, and Keldeo, if need be, can take a fire type move and be an offensive pressure to those fire types in general, being a great Scarfer and just super hard hitter. So I really liked having the offensive water to do that. And then specifically too, we keep going. As you can see right now, I struggle a little bit against steel types, right? Which is really why I wanted a fighting and what I wanted to get with Keldeo. Because like right now I have a lot of coverage for steel types, and while it is very strong, I didn't have like a true just steel breaker in general, right? Like I can hit steel types in a multitude of ways. I got Focus Blast on Torn, I got Flamethrower and Techno Blast on Genesect. I have Earth Power on Hydrapple and Terra Blast, and then Low Kick on Meow. So like all of my top mons have ways to hit their counters, but not like a true just stab, really hard hit. And I think the big one with that is just that Keldeo comes in and can pressure pretty much almost any steel type out with Sacred Sword and or Aura Sphere, just stab fighting moves in general. So just loved it for this team. And yeah. And finally, I think we're going to get to the piece of resistance, you know, the man, the myth, the legend. So one of my favorite megas is Mega Kangaskhan. And I used him in a season of NCL, Season 5, a few years back. And he did pretty good. He went 11-5, won Mega of the Year. Was a consistent part of my team. And I just really wanted to use him a lot. He takes a lot around him. He's not, I mean, let's say here, he's not like the best mega out there, but she holds a special place in my heart. So a big thing with that is I wanted to really build around Mega King, kind of have a team that fit him, and I really found it. Specifically because, as you're going to see, my next 2 defensive pieces, and then plus Torn and Meow, I picked up a shitload of really, really, really good knockoff users, right? Because the biggest thing with Mega King is that it's item locked, and almost all of its coverage, except for Earthquake, made contact. So, a big thing with that is just the fact of being able to just mitigate that risk for Mega King, right? I'm going to knock off all the helmets, knock off leftovers, knock off boots to help with just hazard setting with King, chipping stuff down. So that was a big reason for that. And so, yeah, I really enjoy just building around this, right? So, like, Genesect is going to break a lot of mons. King is going to break a lot of mons. It's going to do a lot for this team. But this is my main physical breaker. As you can see, we had a lot of special attackers, Meow being the primary physical one. Meow doesn't really want to break, it's more of a utility mon. I mean, it can do it, but like I said again, it's more for knocking things off, setting those spikes up, tricking shit around, stuff like that, right? U-turning. Mega King is like my true breaker, and it's just really strong. This is Nat deck, so we do have access to return, which is just a really strong move off of 125 base attack. Stats just in general are pretty good, man. I mean, I have 105 HP with 100 defense, 100 speed, so I'm eating a lot of moves that you think I couldn't. 100 base speed is really good. It's pretty average, actually. I mean, going on 100 base speed is just good for this bulky of a mon. It is a normal type, so obviously we only have one weakness in that fighting type, and a lot of things can resist us. Being rock and steel being the main ones. We do get earthquake for that, and then we do have a way to hit ghosts in crunch and shadow claw. But yeah, biggest thing with King is the way to up your attack is power up punch. It does get access to a curse and work up, but power up punch is the most consistent form of upping your attack, right? Because you get you hit twice, you get the power boost for both of them, which is really cool. A big thing that I want to talk about with Mega King as well is it does get body slam, and it does get a lot of coverage, right? So body slam, a big thing with that is you can run the demon set. Body slam is really cool for my team because it allows me to slow everything down, right? It's a really strong hit with 85 power. It's a hit chance it twice. It's not 60%, right? It's 30% twice, which is, I guess I can do the math. I don't know exactly how that works. So it's 0.3 times 0.3. That's not right. I don't know how to do that math. I don't know how to do 30%. Oh, no, that is right. 0.3 times 0.3. That's not right. 30%. I don't know. I'm trying to do math. I'm just stupid. What are the odds of getting a 30% chance twice? So 9%, right? So I have a... Oh, that's not right, because... Whatever. I'm doing this wrong. We need Taylor. I'll ask him later. But, because maybe it's 0.3 divided by 0.3, right? Dude, I'm like hooked on this now.
Yeah, I have
terrible. No, that'll just be 1. I don't know how it works. It's 0.3 to the second. That's what it is. 0.3 to... I swear to God, guys, I'm not this stupid. I'm just... No, that's 0.92. I don't fucking know. Yeah, because 0.3 to the second just times. Whatever. Regardless. I have a extended chance to get a body slam para. It's more than 9%. Trust me. It's not 60. I don't think it's all the way there, but it's somewhere in there, right? So I think it's above 50% chance to para. So you can do that. And you know the demon set, Koinu?
Oh boy.
The demon set is body slam, right? And then you go bite. Because you pair them and then you have a chance to flinch because you get the double chance. So that's the obviously if I want to be just a complete asshole set. But I get a lot of coverage, right? I get Ice Punch. Obviously I have 60 special attack, but I do get Ice Beam and Thunderbolt. If I need to use it, Drain Punch for recovery is really good. I talked about Earthquake. I do get Fire Punch as well. I am a Gen 1 Pokemon, like a King's a Gen 1 Pokemon, so it gets like all the stuff. But I do get a shitload of fighting coverage as well, which is pretty cool. Hammer Arm, a big one is Low Kick, I think is cool. Low Kick will help with a ton of those heavy steals and just hit shit really, really, really hard. I do get Rock Slide as well. And then the big thing also I want to talk about was Sucker Punch. So I do get Sucker Punch. That'll have to give me some priority as well in there. Not too much to talk about, but just a really, really good mon. I get Fury Cutter. Maybe Mystery will like me.
Oh.
True. You hear that, Mystery? I know you're watching this, Mystery. This shit gets Fury Cutter. I'm gonna run it for you when one game.
You gotta one in at least one.
But yeah, and then at the end of the day, I return. But then I also have Double Edge if I just want to hit something super fucking hard. Fake Out, I forgot about that. Fake Out is a priority move that Kane gets. It's really strong. It's not ran super much, but it is there. Circle Throw to phase stuff out again. Another phase move. I don't think this thing gets Dragon Tail. Yeah, it does get Outrage though, which is pretty cool. And then a big thing too with that, it does have 105 HP and access to Wish. So it can Wish up and it can recover if need be. I can run Wish Protect, right? I can run Body Slam. And I can run like Toxic, right? Toxic or Earthquake in that slot. So I have options. I think this thing can put in a lot of work. It's a good breaker, and it's finally on a team that can support it. So
honestly, though, too, some other like cool niche options that you keep in one too. It's like it even gets like Endeavor, which is like kind of cool. Like, depending if you're like lower health, you can just like get rid of something's health too. And then like also like Disable, that's also pretty cool. Like Disable is also kind of a cool move. Depending on like you can just like stop someone from using like one of their moves that they. It's like that's also like kind of like cool than a niche move. And then obviously, of course, though, basically everybody in NCL usually will shit on Mega Kane. But honestly, though, too, like I am excited though to see Mega Kane be used on. It is a really, really awesome team for Mega Kane.
Yeah,
so
for
it
sure.
will be very fun.
And I get access to stuff like Facade and things like that too. So even in like
you've got cool things that you can definitely do with this.
But yeah, so I'm really. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Holy shit, I'm gassy today. But I have options. I have stuff that I can do. A lot of options there. So again, super excited to see how this works. But kind of speed through, finishing up. We got two defensive options. So I got Donphan as my ground type. I'm really excited to use this guy. I think I've used him once before. I mean, this is the most 9 to 5 clock into work motherfucker of all time, right? So like, Sturdy is an amazing ability. Great stats. Basically, just this thing. I was like, I'm really lacking hazards, right? So my only hazard setter currently was Meowscarada with spikes and T-spikes. So I was like, I really want a consistent form, and especially Stealth Rocks, and that is what this motherfucker does best, right? So I have Stealth Rock on there, and then his signature move, Rapid Spin, to be able to get rid of hazards, because my only form of hazard removal right now is Torn, and with Torn and Donphan together, super fucking consistent, and allows my team to be a lot more versatile. So we have the hazard removal, we have that Earthquake obviously on it, and then finally too, big thing I want to talk about is knockoff. So Donphan has knockoff. He has a lot of niche moves in there too, right? So we have Gunk Shot, Seed Bomb, Fire Fang, Head Smash, shit like that, Gyro Ball, which I think's funny, stuff like that. I get Play Rough, Poison Jab.
Ice Spinner, Ice Shard.
Yep, Ice Spinner and Ice Shard are absolutely amazing. Obviously, priority, Stone Edge, all that rock coverage. I think this mod is super just great mod, right? So, and then the big thing, one of the best defensive knock offers in the game, absolutely great knock offer. Loves to run it, get rid of items. This mod is just a support mod, right? So he just wants to support the team in any way he can, and I absolutely love that. So being able to do that with everything, we get Toxic too, right? Trailblaze is hilarious. I didn't even know he got that. But superpower, this shit gets every kind of coverage move you could think, and just is pretty awesome. So counters in there.
9 to 5, just clocks in.
Yep.
Just does
put some rocks up, spin some hazards away.
Yeah.
does his thing. So yeah, pretty consistent. And then finally, of my before the orphanage coming up, we got the super awesome Tinkaton. So everybody knows about Tink. Has come onto the draft scene really hard. This mon is super crazy versatile. You'll notice, hey James, it's your second steel type, and it is. Well, my first one being Genesect is really offensive, and with it being item lock, it's not like a super consistent steal, right? So I wanted a backup steal, which Tink does an amazing job of doing, right? So I absolutely love Tink a ton. It gives me my fairy type, has 2 amazing abilities in Mold Breaker and Pickpocket. Is really good at running stuff like Air Balloon, Pickpocket to steal items, which guess what, again, we want to get rid of items for Mega King, and Genesect. So we have Pickpocket there, and then also on top of that, another amazing knockoff user, so being able to knock stuff off. Same thing as, we have a bunch of Endeavor users. Endeavor, I don't know, I said Endeavor, but whatever. Endeavor, a big thing too, if you notice, Donphan has Encore, which I was going to mention too, but I mean, it's really slow, so it doesn't usually use it. Opposite for this one, Tinkaton is decently fast for a bulky Pokemon, right? Being 94 base speed. And looking at stats, it's pretty underwhelming, but it's one of those things where this thing is just a utility fucking god. Another Stealth Rocker, which I wanted a secondary rocker for the team, so I have 3 really good sets of hazards and 2 consistent setters. Foul Play, which we talked about for Meow, right? Foul Play is a really good move for stuff not to get set up, Tinkaton not to get set up on. Thunder Wave, which we were talking about before. I have a shit ton of Thunder Wave users, so there's that. Fake Out's funny, but not really a move you use. But Gigaton Hammer is its stab, right? Gigaton and Play Rough. Gigaton's 160 base power. Our attack's 75. It's not really big, but using a bit off of a 160 base power move actually can hit stuff pretty hard and do things like that. With Play Rough, you get a consistent fairy move. You get SD for those matchups you really need to run it, but not really what this thing does a whole lot. Go ahead.
Yeah, like honestly, the King slots are just like kind of cool though too. It's like it just kind of like it can do like so. It just has so much cool utility that I could just run. It's like, yeah, like you said too. It's like T-Wave Encore. It's like it just has it always likes running that stuff. It's like screens is like you don't bring screens like every game, but like you could bring screens on Tink. Like it. You don't like, need to run it every week, but like depending on the matchup, screens Tink isn't even like.
I think this is a funny mon that also doesn't get light screen. Oh, it does. Okay, never mind.
No, it gets both. Yeah, it gets
both. So it gets both screens. Yeah, like what Coin is saying is correct. I get screens. I've seen some funny bulldoze stuff. If you want to do that, I mean, it gets Ice Hammer to hit. Yep, Ice Hammer to hit those Landorises and Gliscors out there that may or may not be on a certain somebody's team. But Encore is the big knockoff. Encore and Stealth Rocks are the big things with Tink, and then Foul Play to get consistent damage onto stuff. But yeah, pretty simple, and I like it a lot.
Yeah,
it does give me a favorite.
And also, Tink's also your like other Terra Captain.
Yep. So I was also
probably won't do it.
So I also have Terra Blast access with Tink, which is pretty cool. Mold Breaker is interesting with that because I can do things like Terra Blast or bulldoze the Rotom Heats, shit like that. Mold Breaker is also really cool because of Magic Bounce Pokemon that are out there. I consistently can always get my hazards up without having to worry about it, which I think is an underrated thing about Tink. Against like the Mega DNCs, against the obviously Mega DNC doesn't want to swap in, but you can still set your hazards up without fear if they're predicting that. Hatterene, stuff like that, right? You always still get your hazards up. Which is really, really nice. And then again, Mold Breaker is really, really good for stuff like Encore, right? So that's my big thing as well. Mold Breaker Encore is really, really, really good. It can't be stopped. So yeah, I like this mon a lot, and I think it adds. And it's also my Draco swap in, because if you noticed a lot, I was really weak to Dragon until I Terra'd Hydrapple. I did have Genesect, but like we talked about, Genesect doesn't just want to swap into Dracos. Its health is important, and stuff like that. All right, and then third, in the last group, I'm not going to take too long about this, but I'm going to go over my little orphanage. We get Muck. Muck is a great low-tier Pokemon. Has decent stats, 105 HP. 105 attack. Look at that. 75 defense, 100 Spidef. Just good Spidef mon. And it's mainly just here to be my T-Spiker Absorber. I'm not necessarily like awfully weak to T-Spikes, but like things like Hydrapple and Donphan really don't want to get T-Spiked.
That was good to have a grounded poison.
Yeah, so having a grounded poison, just be able to absorb T-Spikers. Yet another, my last three all have knockoff as well. Memento was a huge thing, yep. Taunt, Toxic, another T-Spiker itself, which is really good. Things like that. I really wanted to Terra this thing, because I think that this thing can have good matchups, especially with Terra, but I couldn't afford it, because apparently it costs more points, so it couldn't make up my third Terra.
Like Haze, too. You can also like
yeah,
Haze with
but Haze, I think this mon is overall just a really good, like, AV bring. It's got a ton of coverage, and for Elosier, it's also funny because it gets Moonblast, which I think is awesome. Pain Split for recovery, which people don't think about a lot. So he does have that, and then Priority and Shadow Sneak as well. So this mon has like crazy coverage for no reason. So yeah, this mon's a Gen 1 mon, right? Am I tweaking?
Yeah.
That's why he has so much coverage. But so yeah, another one of my goats had to be on the team. We have a Mulga. I'm not necessarily weak to like electric and flying, but like I only have one flying resist on the team, and having electric felt really good. This is another mon that was just like kind of a matchup mon. And if you guys can't notice, another fast knockoff and encore user. So it was a big reason I drafted it. Gets screens, gets nuzzle, defog, another taunter, another fast taunter, thunder wave, tailwind. It's just ton of utility, and that's what I look for. This is literally a 1-point mon. It's really good into my Zapdos matchup, which I struggle against, especially before I Terra Hydrapple. So stuff like that, right? So yeah, just a really good overall mon. As a static as an ability, or motor drive, which is both two really good abilities for Emolga, and it's just a really good 1-pointer. And then last and not least,
Emolga coming back as well too from
round 2. He was with us last season. And last but not least, we have Dugong, who does have thick fat. Dugong. Just a good thick fat Pokemon. A good water swap in.
Good mod, yeah.
So Hydrapple already will take any water type move ever, but like
another encore.
Another encore mon. Basically just
it gets like flip turn.
Yep, flip turn, toxic.
Another knockoff too.
Yep. Knockoff, stuff like that. I just like Dugong as a good mon into stuff like possibly Iron Moth, things like that.
This also just has good moves against like setup in general too, like Haze, Alluring Voice. Like,
yep. Haze, Alluring Voice, Endeavor, flip turn, shit like that. Yeah. Chilling Water. So like I got a lot of stuff. Ice Spinner. But yeah, Toxic. So yeah, so Dugong is here kind of just to be a 1-point wall and help with thick fat. It is water ice, but thick fat does help it a bit against fire types. So just stuff like if I'm looking really rough against the fire type, I could still possibly use this to help pseudo check it if need be. What? Sorry, big yawn. Anyways, yeah. So yeah, that's the team. If we look at the prep doc, I wanted to show you guys this really quick so you get the full view, kind of like the team strengths. My stat spread is super even, which is cool. My defense stat is fucking crazy. Or my attack stat, I mean. I did not realize that I averaged 96 attack, which is pretty good for the amount of mons that I have. I really thought my special attack was going to be higher, but I guess my attack is. That's fun. But, yeah, so just even stats all across the board, right? So my speed stats looking pretty good, pretty even, and overall. I want to show you guys knockoffers. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 knockoffers, which I thought was really cool. I want to see. Can I see? Thunder Wave. So let's put. If we put Thunder Wave on here, I have 3 Thunder Wavers, which I think is all really good. And then a Static Mon. So I have 3 Thunder Wavers now. So, just I thought that was really cool.
And also, just Body Slam from Mega Cane as well.
Yeah, Body Slam from Mega King. So we don't have Sticky Webs, but if I put because I have Taunters, as you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Taunters, fast Taunters. Let's put if we put Roar, it's funny. Roar and Dragon Tail, so we have phasers. I forgot that Donphan can also phase. But let's put Encore, right? If we put Encore, I have 4 Encores. Like, I have really, really good,
Very good move, yeah.
really, really good stuff. Trick. I have Trick as well in here.
Okay. Which I think it might be just Meowscarada, but still, I mean, that's a really, really good trick. So.
Yeah, just Meowscarada, but I have some really good stuff. Baton Pet. What other moves did I want to talk about? We already said Taunt, Knockoff Encore, Trick. Just in general, right? A lot of really good, really good Pokemon. But yeah. Anyways, if you look at the stuff, Fire is annoying for my team. But again, I do have Terra Hydrapple. Donphan and Torrent can pretty much take one of any fire move. And then I have a lot of stuff like that. Kane can also come in and help out if need be. Not ideal, but that. And then Keldeo, obviously being my resist. But Hydrapple is going to be probably helping a lot with those fire types. Not a lot were drafted. There's 3 big ones we'll get into when we talk about like the building aspect and stuff like that. But true. But then Ice technically is what I look like I have a huge weakness again. But if you really look at it, I have 2 resist and Tinkaton and Genesect. Hydrapple is quad weak, but he's not going to be staying that typing a whole lot. And then I do have Keldeo. So Ice is like technically annoying for me, but I don't think it's actually genuinely that big of a deal. I have a lot of stuff around it. Hydrapple is super, and then Tink can help out with that. So yeah, and then Flying is like my last one. Again, it's just kind of by committee. It's just because I have a Steel that technically doesn't resist it, but I do have a secondary Steel. Tink's going to take a lot of that. And Molga is the reason it's drafted. So go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, yeah, like Tink helps a ton, just being the secondary Steel, but yeah.
And I also have a ton of ice coverage on this team, which I think is really funny. So
that's actually true, yeah.
With my ground type getting ice coverage, both my Steels getting ice coverage, and then my water obviously getting some ice coverage as well. So, and then King also gets ice coverage. So like I have a ton of ice coverage around. Also, my flying type also gets ice coverage technically.
Even Donphan too, yeah.
Yeah, that's talking about my ground, Steel. Yeah. Both my Steels, my ground, my normal, like almost everything on this team. Hydrapple with Terra Blast, lol. So like, and then Rock, I'm not scared of at all. I have a Steel and a ground that both resist, and then I have 2 grass types and a water. So like this can be misleading. Yeah, I was gonna say I have
really
2
like
Pokemon.
The only like ground mons are like it's literally a Molga and Torn, but it's like.
I mean, the worst thing possible for me is technically Diancie, but Hydrapple will take a Moonblast even if I have to swap in Raw. And
but you also have Tinkaton. Tinkaton helps a lot.
Yeah,
like,
Tink helps.
I know it's like it obviously gets covered to hit it, but like.
But I wanted to show you guys the power of Hydrapple, right? So like, let's say I'm going Hydrapple.
Yeah, Hydrapple.
Right. It's just max HP. I get DNC. Moonblast is killing here, but if I go Assault Vest, I'm taking a Moonblast, and then if I go like Terra Poison or something, Terra Fairy. Right, I'm taking almost nothing from Moonblast, and this is just max HP.
I guess probably put in like Diamond Storm. I guess just because at least since you're like EV, but it's like even then like
Diamond Storm. It's not. It's.
I mean, yeah, like I guess to show off though, yeah.
I mean, we don't even have to invest, but like if I go like spit at Variant, right? If I just am like I want to fuck this guy up, I don't want to do anything. Yeah, even like this is super effective Moonblast. Yeah, it's doing half, and then if I Terra, he can't kill me the next turn, and Giga Drain's almost OKing. So I get the recovery back, and I can swap out and get the regen. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so there we go. And that's the team. You guys can see the schedule down there. A little sneak peek. Dugong at the top where he belongs. And yeah, so we're going to be. Let me pull that up a little bit, but. We are going to be having a great season, hoping for an amazing season. Thank you. Big shout out to Koinu. Super informal team breakdown, I know, but just kind of going over getting you guys familiar with the team. But yeah, I'm going to close it up here. Thank you, Koinu, for joining me. I really, really appreciate it.
Of course.
Catch you guys later. Catch you on the flip side. Bye.